ActiveCampaign track visits. In this video, we're going to cover tracking your contacts' visits to your web page. And to do that, we're going to create a web form in your ActiveCampaign that we're going to disable opt-in, double opt-in. We'll put a ActiveCampaign tracking script on your site. We're going to assume you're using WordPress. We'll use the WordPress plugin. Inside ActiveCampaign, we'll approve the domain that's there, and then we're going to set up an automation to check for visits and then do something if they do or don't visit. So let's get started. So first thing to do is actually create a form. So we'll create a new form. I'm just going to call it tracking. Put them on a list. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Nothing fancy. The one thing I will do is opt-in options. We are not going to have a confirmation so that they're immediately put into your contact list and they can get into automations immediately. So we're just going to save and exit. Now, moving on, let's go to your WordPress blog. We'll need to install the plugin, the ActiveCampaign plugin. So I'm going to go here. And then under settings, we will go to ActiveCampaign. We need to provide the API URL and key, which can be found inside your ActiveCampaign account under the name. Go to My Settings, go to Developer. Go ahead and save that. Then let's click on Connect. And then this is why you want to already have created a form, because now what we can do is we can include it. So this needs to be checked, and I'm not going to change anything. We definitely want to enable site tracking. So now go ahead and update settings. Now, one thing we should do before we get too far, is actually add a domain, this domain, to make sure it is in site tracking. So I've added this domain. I did not put the www because I typically don't do that. It's not a bad idea to have both that, the www and the not, if you want. Don't have to worry about this code because the plugin took care of that. So now let's add a page, and then we're going to install that tracking form. So let's go see if I've been added properly. So there's test 101. I've subscribed to a list, and I've also visited this page. So I know that site tracking is working. I've been added. Now the next thing I actually want to have happen when somebody signs up through that form, I want to add them to an automation that will track their visits to either the whole site or a particular page. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to start from scratch, and there's more than one way to do this. So let's say subscribe submits a form, and we're going to do it just once, and it's going to be the tracking form. I'm going to go ahead and add that as a start. I'm going to give it a name before I forget, and I'm also going to activate it. So once they submit the form, they'll get added to this. And then what I'd want to do is wait. Let's wait for a week or 7 days, same thing. And then I want to send them an email, which basically says, hey, please go back to my site. So let's do that. Let's send an email. Down here, I want to set a goal. So if they actually visit the site within 7 days, I want them to jump over that email and not actually receive the email. Now, I can do exact URL, URL contains, domain, and let's just say I want it to be this exact domain. And you know what you might put in? And hopefully that's what I put into my email. Actually, that's not the important part. So if they has visited that, then they will have met the goal and they will jump over the email. And then I'm going to end the automation. So this is a great way to get somebody to visit your site who's signed up. If they sign up for like a membership site and they never log in, put them into an automation that waits for 7 days and then sends out an email if they don't visit your page. So let's do this one more time. I am going to actually open an incognito window. So I'm inside this tracking automation. I've actually visited the site. I didn't match the exact URL that should be is set for this tracking automation goal. So I'm sitting here for 7 days. As soon as I visit that exact page, I'm going to get skipped over the email and finished. And one way to ensure that is to send out an email that has the exact link that you want them to click on. Now the challenge is if they don't visit that site in 7 days, they're going to get the email. Alternatively, if they visit the site but from a different device, that tracking is not going to get picked up unless you had sent them an email, they clicked on a link that came from ActiveCampaign, then the tracking will kick in. So the scenario might be somebody signs up on the desktop, they don't visit, they get an email, they're on their phone, they click the link. If it's an email from ActiveCampaign, the tracking will kick in and then they will skip over the email and hit this goal. So that's how we track visits in ActiveCampaign.